Oh hey, it's Trod.
Oh, this game deals with these things I'm going to go ahead and blur out because I don't know if YouTube's algorithm likes that. Anyway, this looks like a fun Earthbound styled game, so let's give it a shot.
3 days later.
Yeah, that felt awful. So, I don't really know how to unpack this. These themes are so dark that I'm not going to spook the algorithm, and I don't think anything but a deep dive would do it justice. Something personal about me, real quick. Any personality test I've ever done has shown that I am not a person who handles emotions well, so this is hard to work through. I'm just going to do a sort of stream of consciousness type thing here and just unload it. Spoilers be here, so head out now, folks, if you don't want to be spoiled. Omori as a game invoked a response in me that is familiar, but quite the opposite of what I've felt in the past. Usually I find myself wanting a continuation because I love the characters and I want to know what happens next. In this case, I'm relieved that it's over and dejected at the result. It was apparent early on that this game wouldn't have a happy ending, but I still thought there'd be something positive to take away. Instead, I feel pure emptiness. But I can't stop thinking about it. The axis on which this spins is the twist of the game. I knew Mary, or is it pronounced Marie? Mori? I'm gonna go with Mary. I knew Mary wasn't coming back, but the development of the team made me hold on to a sliver of hope that it was somehow a dream within a dream. But I also had to know the reason why Mary self-deleted, and I pressed on. I figured removing herself would have something to do with Sunny and Basil, or Basil. I'm gonna go with Basil. But the ultimate twist was the accident and how Basil and Sunny staged the result. So, some games I've played over the past year are Persona 4 and Persona 5, and I think setting these games at the proverbial table can help me explain the depths as to why Omori hits on a different level emotionally. Light spoiler warning for those of you who haven't played either of those games or their expansions. All three games deal with emotional issues that people go through, and they're all very dark. Persona 4 is a murder mystery, but also embodies coming of age and denying who you really are in the form of gender dysphoria, jealousy, and arguably preference of partner. Persona 5 deals with the same self-removal issues of Omori, but adds in abuse, sexual assault, corruption, and a myriad of other problems of the human condition. Persona games, aside from their optional expansion bosses, have a clear line between good and evil. Your characters are good, fighting against evil. You solve the case in Persona 4, you work to reform society in Persona 5. Both games, especially Persona 5, dabble in that harm of self. Omori is the opposite. Sunny's psyche is the problem. Rather than an external struggle against outside forces, Omori is an internal struggle about an accidental act that Sunny committed, but only made worse with a lie. The twist in which you learn what really happens occurs near the end of the game, and it's shocking. I had expected Mary's own internal struggle to be revealed, but no, it was Sunny who caused her death. No internal struggle at all. She was happy and did not have any of those removal thoughts. The game has multiple endings, but what's generally seen as canon is you coming to terms with this and telling your friends the truth as to what happened. We don't know what happens after Sunny reveals it to his friends, but the burden of the lie has been removed, and he can be at peace. The gameplay and music of this game are both reminiscent of Earthbound, which has indefinitely had a resurgence within internet culture. I mean, quirky gameplay and music tend to make for fun experiences, and the internet is chock full of webcomics and other media fit for these games. The music is fantastic, the gameplay holds up, but the story of this game is so haunting and ever-present, it percolates through everything. After you find that Mary has died, the significance of her picnics and save points mean more, as Mary is able to provide a safe space for Sunny and his friends. Literally, it is the point in which you save your game and where you return. It's really on the nose. The entire space sequence is the highlight of the game. The music hits a high here. The dream narrative has a lot of appeal from the bosses to the humor. This is early in the game when the entire outlook still has some semblance of positivity. This is also early enough when you learn the tag system, using the gameplay mechanics to build the rapport with the group, as each tag shows a different interaction between characters, further instilling their friendship. The boss battle with the download bar is my favorite in the game, as well from its hilarity to the music and its challenge. That said, the game overstays its welcome, and I think nearly 45 minutes could have been shaved off at the end. Said end really drives home the narrative, but at the same time, this is probably how it feels for someone who is riddled with depression and guilt. It may be an accurate representation, and for that, I can't fault it. But I think this game is far too long in other regards. For example, the last resort section, despite the humor, feels like padding for the sake of padding. There's a lot of activities to pursue in these areas, but I was at a point in my playthrough where I wanted answers more than I wanted to go through more dream sequences. I likely won't play this game again. The lovely atmosphere that is presented in its dream world would warrant several playthroughs, but the narrative would only reinforce those negative feelings. The game is charming, funny, and has a lot of awesome moments. Despite that, the feelings from this game are lingering for me, and it's going to stay in my mind for some time.